The following video has been approved by the Jetty marketing team. The video has been rated Jetty. The following video may not be suitable for all viewers. Good morning, g'day mate, and welcome back to Dyson Sphere with me, Jetty. So, couple of things. First thing you might notice up in the top left-hand corner, you can see that we're scoring a massive 53 UPS. It's like playing at normal speed again. And I'd really like to say that is because I overclocked my CPU. I increased the CPU core speed by 10%. And I'd like to say that is the total reason why it's suddenly running at full speed and we're doing miles better, but I'd be lying. I'd be really lying. What we've actually done is I've installed a mod, because this is a modified playthrough. I've installed Better FPS by Broken Mass, which did three things. Actually, it's got three options. So one, it turns off shadows, which I understand the devs haven't optimized, which should make a massive difference, but let's find a rock. Hey, you're a rock with a shadow. So yes, I don't know if that feature's actually working or not. The other thing it's done is it's set up all the factories to run in parallel. So previously they'd run like single core, like one after the other, each calculation would be done one after the other. Now, as far as I understand, they're all running in parallel, which has amazingly doubled out my UPS and therefore also increased the FPS. Now, there is one more option that it does have that I haven't turned on, which stops the Dyson Sphere actually rendering. But as we're planning this episode, at least to launch some rockets, etc., and build a Dyson Sphere, turning that feature on seems a little bit wasted. Now, if I did turn that option on, my UPS would max out, and my FPS even got up to like 45, 50. So I'm guessing I'm like UPS is cleared and the FPS is back through the roof. So yeah, that is an option if you want. Now, I will mention, only because it's happened to me, I have had a couple of crashes of the game since I installed that mod. Everything else up until that point was rock solid, but yeah, that caused an issue or two. So today's episode we're doing a couple of things. First thing we're going to do is we're finally going to turn on our lovely production. Not at this end, at the other end. We're going to finally turn on all the bits and pieces we need to start making some rockets, some serious rockets, some massive rockets, because we've spent the last, I don't know, 20 episodes or whatever, working up towards making rockets, 30 rockets per second, a full belt's worth. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on you. Actually, first thing I'm going to do, now I've already turned one on, is we're going to go out to map, and you can see there's not a lot of ships going anywhere until I turned that one on, and then suddenly everything starts firing up. It's going to get a whole lot worse as I turn on more of these. We need the first one running, to run the second one, to run, and then we need the third and the fourth, to then run the sixth. Okay, so I need this guy running to make plane filters, and I need this guy running to make plane filters, to get plane filters over here to make quantum chips. Now, because these production lines are super long, all right, and you might notice we have 3 full belts coming out at full speed, but as I wander down, you'll notice the belts have more and more gaps. As I get a bit further along, the belts just run dry. Now, the reason the belts run dry is not because I've overbuilt, it's actually because each particular machine, let's start with one who has nothing, needs to have a full supply plus enough to do 5 whole crafts in the machine. So every machine is going to take a while to buffer, which means it's going to take a while for this to get up to full speed, and then even longer for this one to get up to full speed before we start supplying those out. So what we're going to do whilst we're waiting is we're going to go for a bit of a map tour. We're going to start out by going across to Middle Earth, And then we're just going to work our way out. So, with that out of the way, let's start off at Middle-earth. Now, Middle-earth is a very special planet. It was a very special planet named by you guys down in the comment section below. And we hit warp. Super cute little planet. And it's very, very special. It was one of the reasons I chose this system. And that is because Middle-earth is actually situated... Oh boy, I can't see anything. It's right there. Middle-earth is... If I can hit it... Still covered in debris, which... 26... Okay, they got me some frames. Now things are running a little bit faster. Middle-earth is special. It is, as you can see, covered, well, half covered in ray receivers. On top of that, you might notice it is situated completely between two Dyson spheres. It is also the other important thing is the planet's actually situated on a 6 degrees 14 minutes inclination, and I've actually matched the Dyson spheres, both of them, to the same inclination. So if we zoom out and I click on that and we have a look-see, we can see Middle-earth goes up and down. At the same time, our Dyson sphere is also on the exact same inclination. So it's the Dyson sphere is slightly twisted, but it means it matches this planet perfectly, and it also means it stays perfectly situated between two Dyson spheres, which means if I click on you, we can see that you have, well, every one of these guys have 100% continuous receiving, and even on the dark side of the planet, clicky, it also has 100% continuous receiving because it's receiving from that Dyson sphere right above it. So this was our first planet. Now, well, our first planet in our little tour. This one is, as I said, making critical photons. It is consuming 11 gigawatts out of, no, 119 gigawatts out of 112. God, I'll get words right eventually. 112 gigawatts. And where are the towers? Which way do those belts go? Honestly, can't tell. There's a gap in the tower and a gap in the belts eventually. Can I go faster, please, Icarus? Oh, the belts go this way. Okay, never mind. We'll fly back this way. We were going the right direction. Alright, we'll get there eventually. It's like halfway around the planet or something. Aha! No, I don't want to pick it up. Okay, so this one can collects critical photons from that one, and that one. So it has 4 belts of critical photons in. This one also collects critical photons from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 belts in. And like I said, we've only covered half the planet. And funnily enough, I'm actually using artificial suns for power on this planet. Just to run these guys, which you're doing nothing. These guys, which are bringing in, well, they're, again, we're using mods. This is the planetminer mod. So I can put down a tower, and then rather than having to put down miners everywhere, which is, honestly, in other games makes sense, in Dyson Sphere, because of the such large intergalactic scale, sort of doesn't make sense and sort of gets frustrating, really frustrating after a little while. So what the planetminer mod does is when you put down a tower and you set it to local demand, it literally just sucks the ore out of the planet. So as you can see, my silicon is going down because one of these guys, obviously not this one. Nope. Whoa. Just put that back. Well, now we'll definitely see it. Is just sucking material out of the planet. Actually, it would be this one because the charge rate's a little bit low. There we go. So yeah, we're literally just sucking ore straight out of the planet and putting it straight in the tower, and then we're using the ships to ship it around. But yes, this is our first planet. Very, very, very important in our system. Next planet is our Forged in Fire system. Forged in Fire is, again, a very, very particular system. It's very specialized. Can I get some speed, please? Thank you. It's somewhere in... Where the hell? Forged in Fire. It is that direction. Oh boy, this is so much harder at full speed. That's it. That's it. Wow, that was close. Okay, I almost hit the planet for a change. Alright, Forged in Fire. Forged in Fire is a very, very, very special planet again. As you can see, it has a smelter or 3 on the planet. In fact, this was really our first permanent planet, I guess. Middle Earth has been changed and upgraded over time, whereas this one was always decided, as it was our lava planet, to be our forged planet. So, if we go to map view really quickly, you can see, and ignore the graphical glitches, that is just Dyson Sphere. Dyson Sphere having issues with you being at such a high zoom level and having a lot of the exact same building on the map, I think. I don't know, it's weird. It only happens with, I've only seen it with smelters and with EM rail injectors. But we can see this one does a lot of smelting. Like, you know, there's copper. They're all running. That's iron. That's, I don't know what that is. Iron, brick, coal, more coal into the copper field again, more iron around the back, more copper, and then around the middle section, because, you know, these require 1 resource in, 1 resource out. These require 2 resources in for 1 resource out. We have some larger smelters down the middle that, you know, do silicon, titanium, magnets, which were built in the middle because it had some extra space, and magnets are weird. So yeah, a whole bunch of magnets, more titanium. We've even got some titanium alloy, that's the words I'm looking for. Steel. And then everything that's on one side of the planet is mirrored to the other side of the planet. So again, more silicon, titanium's here eventually. Titanium. And glass is in this strip somewhere. I don't know where. It's too similar to titanium to see easily from this view. But yes, this is our forged in Fire planet, which also has power on the South Pole and material delivery on the North Pole. And again, because we're using the planetary miner mod, like this one, it's set to local demand for iron. So that mod was added after the fact, but it does mean that rather than me having to put in miners, which I did do early on, and now I thoroughly regret because some of the smelters obviously don't work whilst we're trying to mine out 2 million titanium, which is getting shipped off as fast as it's coming in. Yep. Yeah. Oh, also, you know, because of our research, ore consumption, 30%. Yeah. That's more like 6 million titanium. You know, we're mining it out 54 titanium per second because every single miner is flat out. But you can see that the number's not going down by 54 per second. Yeah. So we have insane mining, and we, as I was saying, we can use these guys, which are just requesting the material. And if the material is on the planet, like stone was at one stage, we've obviously mined it all up, but obviously iron still is. Iron is just being put in these towers automatically via, you know, the mod, and then being outputted onto the belts. So it would have made this a whole lot easier had I installed that mod first. A whole lot easier. Like, this one's trying to mine iron. Yeah, there's iron hidden under there, which turns out after you bury the ore, you could just run the belts over the top without an issue. Yeah, but yeah, we're trying to mine the ore and everything. It's a giant pain. Like, there's like this crap right in the middle of where you're trying to do things. It's annoying. Anyway, this is Forged in Fire. Which is on a lava planet, which I really, really did enjoy. I hope. It's the only mod that I haven't seen yet. I do hope that at some stage somebody releases a mod to clear up these frigging rocks, because they're super annoying when constructing. Anyway, this is our Forged in Fire planet. It has forges, and the ground's on fire, so it's a pretty pretty apt naming. Now, the only complaint I had with this one is we are using, as I said, we are using mods. We have installed blueprinting mods and all sorts of things, which we will show you later. Well, I will show you shortly. But the only thing is, this was built with an earlier version of a different mod. So everything on the north side is mirrored perfectly to the south side, which is handy, except these towers are also perfectly mirrored, which means a lot of them are actually put down backward, which is frustrating. Can I find a good example? Actually, I don't even know which side's backward. Nope, I have no idea which side is backward. One of the two sides is backward. Super annoying with dealing with the towers, because you'll set a filter on this side and it actually sets on the opposite side. Super duper 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 annoying. But yes, this is Forged in Fire. This little planet requires just a little bit of power and keep it up and running. As you can see, it is like any blank space there is, we've filled in with some solar and with some wind turbines. Not that the wind power is terribly strong, but it runs all the time. And up here we have just an artificial sun or two to give us 10 gigawatts worth of power. This place, when running flat out, uses about 9 gigawatts worth of power. It's no shy little rock. So yes. This is Forged in Fire, which, as you can see, also has a lot of ships flying back and forth as Go Big and Go Home is getting up and running. But the next stop is actually our Starkiller, because this little planet here, this little white rock out in the sky, kills stars. Kills stars. Doesn't kill planets, just kills stars. Can I hit it? It's super close. Oh, okay. This is our Starkiller. Our Starkiller, as I said, kills stars, and that's exactly where I want to land. Because I realized after the fact that this little belt's missing. Yes, okay, so this is Starkiller. As you can see, Starkiller has one main objective it provides. That is to shoot the shit out of stars, which we're actually going to turn on right about now. Remote demand. Now, I have, between last episode and this episode, gone through and done a few things, okay? I've been through every tower on the map. In this system. Oh, I missed some concrete. Well, that's not going to get fixed. I have gone through and I have set up the distance to enable warp to just half an AU, or 1 AU sometimes by mistake. And I have set the recharge rate for everything to 300 megawatts, just so every tower is definitely getting enough power. I've also upped the power on just about every planet to make sure we don't run out of power. There we go. Make sure we don't run out of power. And yeah, I've set the warp distance nice and low, so if we zoom out, we can see lots of ships warping back and forth rather than we had a lot of ships before that were slow boating back and forth. I would much prefer many, many warps and many, many less slow boats. Anyway, with that said, we're going to Starkiller up and running. Now, Starkiller's one job is to, well, fill in the gaps. Fill in the gaps in the Dyson Sphere. All the gaps. On top of that, again, modified playthrough, so we are using mods as these guys filter in. We can see that they have a chosen, some of them do, some of them don't. I have no idea what the orbit differences are, but some of them have a chosen orbit. Either way, they have an orbit that they're meant to be shooting, and on top of that, they have an alternate orbit. So we have railgun retargeting, I think it's called. Which just means that when they can't hit one orbit, they're going to pick a different orbit. So these are all shooting 14. You're shooting 17. 17 is going to be blocked. Yep. And then you swap to 14. So on and so forth. So it means that our little Starkiller, we swap the north view, is quite savage. And shoots just a little bit. In fact, if we bring up our production stats and we look at solar cell consumption in a per minute. So in theory, we can use 48,000 solar cells per minute. That is if every cannon is firing at full speed at all times. In saying that, obviously half the planet is in the dark side, so only going to be launching half the planet. But yeah, it means we're launching 26,000 cells and counting per minute, which is, again, mods, this is Better Stats. Better Stats is the name of this mod. We're doing 500 solar cells per second. That's insane. That is insane. And actually the numbers are still going up. 28.1, 28.2. It's still going up. Can we get to 500? Can we get to 500? Not just jetty maths and rounding 500, like actual 500. Let's just put that over there. No, can I not drag that half on the screen, half off? You suck. I'll hold it then. So yes, this is our Starkiller, which is doing a wonderful job. Again, I have a modified playthrough. So normally when you shoot solar cells up, each node on, let's get rid of that for a second. Tasmania's view. Each node, that's a lot of cells. Can I see somebody who's pulling in cells currently? Not really. They're still making their way to their targets. So each little node, one of these guys, these little crosses, normally pulls in 120 cells per second. In our case, because I have mods, which is two per frame. 2 per frame is the default amount, okay? So that means every single time the game proceeds 1 frame forward, i.e. 60 UPS, which means, 120 per second, 2 cells can disappear into a node. I've upped the count with a mod. I think we're running at 20. Which means basically as fast as I can fire cells up, they're gonna get absorbed. Which means even with me firing up the ridiculous rate that I am, as you can see, they're all trying to get in there as fast as possible. And like some of them are moving at a decent tick. I didn't change the transfer speed, so the cells still seem slow and gentle. You can actually set it way higher, so they just like travel across there, like really travel across there. I didn't like that look. I liked the long, slow, snaking blue lines and a whole lot of cells going in per frame. So we can do, I don't know, some ridiculous amount. I don't know. I don't know how high the number is. I could work it out. Actually, 1200 per second, I think it is. But yeah, a lot of solar cells. They're all disappearing. Hey, there we go. Oop. Trying to get the right view and the right distance is hard. There you go. So yeah, an insane amount of cells disappearing to that one node at once. Actually, if we press Y, and we turn off that, can I click on a layer 2? No, I need to be inside layer 3 to click on a layer 2. There is 23,000 cells, 22,000 cells being assigned to that one node at once. Yeah. I saw there is that one. Same, whoa, 33,000. Okay, so a lot. I have no idea how high it's capped to, but it's a lot. It does mean that, yeah, we can fire 500 per second. Not a problem. The Dyson Sphere just says, thank you very much. Please come again. I want more. Which leaves us our Starkiller, who absolutely decimates stars. In saying that, again, if we go down to here, we have, again, another little mod. This little mod is called Sphere Progress, which says that I need 60,000 rockets, and that is 11 million cells total, and I have 7.5 million. So I have a few cells to launch. Hence we have Starkiller. Okay, with Starkiller out of the way, the next planet I need to visit on our little system is going to be our Tyler Luck rockets, which is where we started. So we need to go big or go home. Again, named by you guys in the comments section. Go big or go home is exactly that. It's where we hit a lot of our production. A lot of our production required to make 30 cells per second. 30 rockets per second, not 30 cells. We're doing way more than 30 cells. yeah, this is where we hid a lot of our assemblies. And assemblies, and assemblies, and assemblies. Now, a lot of this is going to be shut down already because we've probably maxed out the amount of rocket storage I have on the previous planet. Oh, power-wise. Again, 12 gigawatt power. 12 gigawatt power. And this planet will get up to 10 gigawatts with ease. Okay, so this is where, like I said, we hit a lot of our production. So to make small carrier rockets, you need, let's just go with a simple one, deuterium fuel rods. Deuterium fuel rods require the supermagnetic rings, which require electromagnetic turbines. So, you know, there's a build of supermagnetic rings, and then there's a build of electromagnetic turbines. And then, of course, they require motors, which are over here, which, of course, require gears, which are over here, which, of course, require magnetic coils, which, of course, require copper and iron and magnets, which all come from our forged planet. And all of that goes into, right there, deuterium fuel rods, along with deuterium and titanium alloy and other things. But, you know, that's one slice of the production line. If we also go in here, we also need Dyson Sphere components, which require, you know, a heap of these things, the frame materials, which I've hidden down here at the bottom of the planet. No, Dyson Sphere components are down here. Frame material is, where do we hide those? I thought, frame material to make Dyson Sphere components, along with the titanium glass, which we needed for the quantum chips to make the frame materials. Yeah. So this has all the production, actually, not all the production, because we couldn't fit all the production on one planet to do 30 science per, or 30 rockets per second. But a considerable amount of the production to do the rockets that we needed. Okay, so yeah, this one was go big or go home, and as you can see, it is fairly idle, actually. There's only sort of the bottom part of the planet running. But this is a real production hub, and as you can see, has a decent amount of ships going back and forth. The next one we're going to go look at is Come Sail Away With Me, which is, you know, again, a specialized planet. You know, in case you needed some specialized material, this is definitely where you go to. And again, this one was named by you guys down in the comments section below. Come on. And we can pop over there. Let's try and land near the top. Okay, so this one has a little bit less power from memory. Has never mind, requires more power. We'll just throw some more artificial suns at the problem, and some substations to get you guys up and running. None of you work. Let's try that again. Ba-bum. We good yet? Oh, 95. Let's put a few on that side of the belt as well. Okay, 94. Let's just add a few more just in case. So yeah, this is Come Sail Away With Me. Come Sail Away With Me, again, really specialized planet. Has a lot of glass smelting on the planet. And the reason it has glass smelting on the planet is, well, it makes sails. Just a few sails. In fact, as you can see, everything is kicked into high gear on this planet because, well, it makes sails. In fact, if I start, this tower here brings in 2 belts. So 2 belts at 30 items per second of sails. So that's 2 belts. That's 4 belts. Then we took this build, we blueprinted it, we compressed it down. So rather than doing 2 and taking up like the main build area of a planet. I managed to squeeze in 3 instead, but it meant we went from 2, 4, well, it does 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 22 belts of sails. You know, because Starkiller needs a few sails. Yes, so this is our sail planet, which, yeah, as you can see, is super, super busy. In fact, it's out of glass from the looks of it. Oh no, you're still full. No, we're not out of glass yet. But yeah, this is, well, this is one hell of a production planet as well. And yeah, again, it was just named by you guys. So if we go out to map view really quickly, we can see that definitely ships are teleporting everywhere. And don't forget, we're only running sails at the moment. The rockets haven't started firing yet. And at the same time, you can see if we look at our system, which again, modified system, we've got 200 and something stars in this system. You can see all the names are, again, from my lovely Patreon supporters, because I've got to say, you might have noticed the superhero landings throughout this video so far. They might have had a video or two demonetized, but I can afford to put in those brilliant sort of jokes and humor and that sort of stuff into the videos, because I do have the lovely support of my patrons, along with my YouTube members. So if you enjoy videos like this, you enjoy series like this, first off, I need to thank you for watching all the way through to this video, or if this is the first video you've seen, going back and starting maybe at the start of the series to see how we got here. I've got to thank you guys. At the same time, I really need to thank especially my patrons, my YouTube members, those that support the channel, because it means I can do silly jokes like that. I can also spend a ridiculous amount of time playing this game at what was running at half game speed, because I wanted to finish the series. I didn't want to just go, no, that's it. I've killed the game. We're not finishing it. I wanted to finish this series. So yes, this is our system, and we're on Tasmanius. Australiaris was where the Australian, being me, started off in our system. And yes, we've come out to Tasmanius, which we did rename after, well, actually we renamed it before the game had renaming of systems. Yeah, again, modified playthrough. So with all that said, that is a tour of our little system, but we still need to go to tightly locked rockets and actually launch a rocket or two. So now I've thanked everybody. Now we've gone for a quick tour. Wow, Starkiller is doing a job. We need to pop over there and go for our very last superhero landing of this series and launch a rocket or 5. As long as I hit the planet. I need to hit the other side of the planet. Yes. Okay, so, before I do, actually, okay, before we do anything, I want to, only because I happen to be at this side, boost that and boost that. Okay. With that done, I actually need to be back where I was going to crash land originally, because we need to actually turn on rocket production, because I haven't done that yet. And then finally, yeah, I hope we have enough power. Okay, so we need to remote demand those in from Go Big or Go Home. Remote demand those in from Go Big or Go Home. The quantum processor should be in that tower already. Yeah, it's full. So we local demand those. And that should pick every planet in the high gear. So I'm expecting this number to start dropping at the same time. If we go to number 1 and we go entire star cluster, space warpers, I'm expecting to start going through the roof. I also want to see, where is solar sails, and I want to see rocket, small carrier rockets. So if we go to number 1 again, we can see... Oh, and antimatter fuel. Antimatter fuel is here somewhere. Okay, so if I click on that and we set that to 10 minutes, we can see, yes, we're definitely consuming a little bit of antimatter. More importantly, our antimatter fuel rate has, the last hour, it's gone up a little bit. Definitely a little bit. Our small carrier rockets are going to be kicking in right about now, and our solar cell production is, at least the production is over the consumption. That's definitely impressive. Okay, so with that done, and I am putting them into here, and then into here, and then into here, and this is going to take a second to get up and running. Yeah, the materials haven't reached the end of the belt yet, but it's full and running. Okay, before we do anything else, I want to go to our North Pole, and I have 130 silos doing absolutely nothing, which seems unacceptable. But what we're going to do is we're definitely going to put them to hard work, even though this will technically go over our maximum launching capability or construction capabilities. We're going to put them down anyway. 1, 2, 3. I need to grab one of you, rotate you twice, get you as close as you can to your friend, like pretend like COVID's over and you can cuddle. Rotate that way and put you there. I'm literally in the middle of it. Thanks. Okay. I need to run that belt to there with a power pole there and a sorter in, and then blueprints. I want you're facing away from me, you're facing towards me. Perfect. Which now means I can lack of item. Oh, I'm out of power poles. That's embarrassing. Power poles. Okay, blueprints. And this is what has really accelerated, well, accelerated parts of this series. There have been other parts where I have been running around at half game speed because I killed my processor. Well, technically I think I killed the game. But yeah, being able to blueprint things like this has made a giant difference to my Dyson Sphere, overall Dyson Sphere experience. It's been a fun game, it's been a blast, but I've got to say, like, building everything by hand was fun for the first time around, not so much fun for the second time around. Okay, so that one goes there, that one, whoop, it goes on that tile. So that goes there, so the two of you can cuddle. And then your next one goes here, because I am going to double. Bring the belt along to here, outer tile, into there, into there, into there. Power pole there, and power pole there. Sorters, input. Okay, and then I want blueprint. Really? Not have power? How do you not have power? Okay, solve. Blueprints. I want to copy including the power pole without you to you're facing away from me, so I need one that's facing me to there. And we'll do this row first, and we'll come back for the other row. Place that in there. That in there. And yeah, remember how well, for those that have been watching this whole series, remember how I've been complaining about how slow my bots are and how I spent all that time researching them and everything? This is the speed they're meant to run at. They're meant to be fast enough that as fast as I can think about blueprinting something, they can just get it done. But unfortunately, due to the lack of CPU, things have not gone quite as planned. Okay, so I need one there, one there, one there, one there, and one there with power. There, 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 and there. And then, where's the other row? Yeah. Yeah, you, I'm going to copy to here. And then copy you to there. And unfortunately, because this is further down the curve of the planet, I cannot use the same blueprint. I have to use this blueprint, which if I get there to there to there, I can then re-blueprint there to there to there, and then it's Alt to make that the item I'm carrying in my hand, and then I should be able to go pop, Alt to this end, pop. Really? I missed a power pole. Okay, that's exceedingly annoying. Let's try this again. So you're facing away from me. Can't really see the far power pole. That's half the problem. So I need one that's facing towards me to stop at, which is you, and then increase the size. Yeah, I keep going in this route. Okay, you're facing towards me, you're facing away from me. Fine, we've got a working blueprint. We'll just have a little blueprint rather than just duplicating everything. There. And there. Okay, how confident am I that every single sorter is connected to the building beside it? 90% answer? I need one of them. Okay, with all that done, I have no idea because I wasn't counting how many silos that is. We are going to... Wow, that is a lot. That's pretty blue. That's pretty blue and pretty pissed off. Okay, we're going to stop here. And what I want to do is I want to look at this one. So don't forget, we're making rockets. They're feeding through here, into here, and into here. You saw me turn it on. That's full. That one's at 2,000 and counting. So what we're going to do is we're going to set you to remote demand. Give me all of them. 3,000. So 3,000 coming from the home system. At the same time, local demand. And we should see... actually, it would probably help if you had shippy shippies. And you had shippy shippies. Do you already have shippy shippies? You do. There we go. So we can see that we're bringing across the rockets, which are going to land in here and then distribute out. Yep, beautiful. Which also means, if I line this up correctly at north, we should get, hopefully, a wonderful Mexican wave that goes from right to left. Can't argue with that. You can't argue with that. I've got ships going across the top of the planet. They're the ones getting more carrier rockets to bring them over here. We have a wonderful pattern going across the planet. And if I try and center things a little bit, and then zoom out, just a deluge of rockets. So we only needed 60,000 rockets? Yeah, 60,000 rockets was the number we required to finish off the Dyson structure. I have a feeling... Production stats. Display per second. So we were doing 26.5 per... No, we're doing 31. 31 per second. So we're actually over the amount that we'd scheduled, which we'll call that round numbers and rounding errors because the belt only does 30 items per second, but that's fine. So we're doing 30 items per second. We're launching 33 and counting. 2,000 per minute. Let's get 2,000 per minute. 2,000 rockets, come on! So close. One silo short. Literally one silo short. Okay, I can't stand it. I can't stand it. We're going to... So, I did warn that the mod was not stable, right? Yeah, the game just crashed. So, I went back to the last autosave, got us back up and running. We have just turned these guys back on. I think I've fit in an extra silo. I don't think I built this far along last time. In fact, I might be one tile higher, and I didn't put in the backup belt. There to there to there, and then hook that one up. Yeah, it's a little bit all over the place, but that's fine. That's fine. And the other thing I needed to do after everything starts launching is look at power. 15 gigawatts, 15 gigawatts. We should be alright. Should be. Rockets make it to the end of that row, that row, that row, that row. That row, that row, that row. That row. And that row. And to the end of that row, so they're all running. I know we're pulling in on around about 10 gigawatts. 10 gigawatts is not too bad. Yes, we've turned you back on, and you haven't had as much time to buffer. In fact, you've had no time to buffer. Okay, should be fine. Should be fine. Yeah, there's a few thousand on their way. Okay, and production stats for number 1 for the entire cluster. Without that turned on, without that turned on, we need to find sales. Anyway, fuel rod. That was 1. Sales. Carrier rocket. Where are the sales? There they are. Okay, and then filter. So we are doing per 10 minutes. 38 made, 36 used. Antimatter definitely had a spike. Critical photons definitely had a spike. Antimatter fuel rods like 200 per minute. That is ridiculous. Space warpers 1200 per minute. And of course, small carrier rockets. Can we go down to 1 minute, please? Yeah, we're over at 2005 now. 2005. Theoretical max is 2125, but if I change this to local planet, we've hit the max for this planet, and our production rate is also maxed out on this particular planet, pretty much. Yeah, we're not gonna keep, well, it's this one anyway. Yeah, we're not going to keep up. Their home system does make rockets, but they're few and far in between. Either way, if we go... Well, first off, if we go and North View... yeah, that's a lot of rockets in the sky. A lot of... Wow. Yeah, for comparison. Oh, well, actually, first off, you'll notice there are no real ships because, well... It's that guy. And that guy, because he sucks. But there are no real ships. They're all warping. On top of that... Show me that. I'm sorry, but to anybody else, does that look like the rockets look like a claw reaching over and grabbing the Dyson Sphere? You know, 1 finger, 2 finger, 3 finger, 4 finger, 5 fingers, just like... Yeah, okay. Yeah, we're launching a rocket or 4 with a sail or 3. You can see the incredible rate at which we're bringing in sails. It's just constant. And yeah, as soon as they hit, they're automatically being set to go to one part of the sphere. Now, if we look at this stat, we're at 213,000 out of 272,000. It's not going to take long. It's not going to take long to fully finish out the structure process. As for the actual sails themselves, well, we're only at 7.8 million out of 11.7 million. So we've only got a good, 4 million sales to go. Give or take. What's 4 million sales between friends? But yeah, with the insane production list we have here, it does mean, and this is something so it's something I'd love to do in a future playthrough. In a future playthrough, I would really like to be able to go out and just claim spheres. Like, just put down spheres wherever I felt like it. Can I set you... No, can I set... you to 1%. You don't have little shippies because the game crashed. And you don't have little shippies because the game crashed. Set you to 1%. Throw some big ships in there. Yeah, I would really like to be able to just go out to different planets and set up different spheres. And I'd really like the excess power because we did. Do I have a ray receiver on this planet at all? Do I have a ray receiver in my inventory? No. Do I have ray receivers? Nope. I did have ray receivers. This planet was covered with them at one stage. Well, they've since got superseded and got put on Middle Earth. Okay, we did see I was making 212 gigawatts, and I was only using about half of that. And most of that was actually sitting in critical photons on belts doing nothing. The whole system had backed up. What I'd like to see is I'd like to see a way for any excess power you're making becoming research, because the whole idea of building a Dyson Sphere is to, upgrade the... What's it called? The universal matrix into the thingamajiggy bob. I can't remember. So that's one thing I'd like to see. I'd like to be able to see that excess power basically become research or do something for your game, because at the moment I could produce so much power and I could go out and colonize other stars and do something with that power, assuming I had game UPS left over, and also assuming I didn't put sails in it, because, oh my gosh, save game. Let's go with 37. 32.7. Give it a minute. Click the button. Give it a minute. Give it a minute. Save successful. Save game. It is an 800 megabyte save file. Speaking of save files, if you jump in my Discord, I won't guarantee when this episode goes live that the save will be there, but the save will be going up in my Discord. You'll find links in my Discord if you want to grab the save, and at the same time, the smelter setups that were covered on Forged in Fire. If you want to grab a copy of those smelters, there is a member of the community who has already made blueprints. So in this particular mod, the multibildbeta, which gave us this blueprint feature, you can export blueprints and import blueprints. So you can import the blueprints if you want to have the smelter blocks, which I designed on Forged in Fire. They're individual blocks, so you can put them down very, very easily all over the planet. So yeah, I'll find that post as well. I will pin that inside my Discord, inside the Dyson Sphere room. But with all that said, I think this is where we're going to end this episode. It's a longer episode than I'd expected. We'll probably do a bonus episode. Bonus episode with a time lapse, because I'd like a time lapse. I'm sure you guys would like a time lapse too. I want to remove that. Yeah, I'm thinking of time lapse. Time lapse would be great. Yeah, parts right about here, time lapse. Anyway, with all that said, I'm going to end Dyson Sphere here. It's been fun. It's been a blast. I'm not done with Dyson Sphere yet. There's still other things I want to do. I want to look at the mods because the mods have definitely made a difference as far as this game is concerned. And I do expect that there's a lot of mods that I've looked at, and a lot of mods you guys have looked at in the community that, like, I didn't know about the Better Blueprint mod until a couple of days after the video came out, mainly because it had been released by then, and at the same time somebody else had looked at it and gone, that is miles better than what you're using, JD, you should check this out, which at point I did. So with all that said, yeah, I'm going to end this episode here. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys for joining me for this epic journey. It's been great, it's been brilliant, but with all that said, I need to get some sleep because this episode took 12 hours. Alright, that's it, I'm out. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Congratulations, builder of great civilizations. The primary mission of the Dyson Sphere Program has been successfully completed with your efforts. The energy you provided is bound to make the homeland develop with high speed, and your figure will imprint with every step forward. This cluster has been activated. To remember your achievements, people light up a star in the Milky Way star map. Yes, it will always record your contribution to the forthcoming third-level civilization. Now please rest a while, and then embark on the journey of the Sea of Stars again.
Well, with that done, that marks the end of Dyson Sphere. So, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed. I will see you guys in the next Dyson Sphere video, which you already know is going to be a time-lapse of building this sphere, followed by some looks into some of the different mods available for Dyson Sphere. But with all that said, as I said before, and I'll say again, thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed this series, and I'll see you guys in the very next one. All right, bye.